What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Dev back again. First listen, kinda. Please. Today, man, we are finally going to get to the 2 Chainz album, Rap or Go to the League. Now, it was really tough, man, because a lot of albums came out around that time, and I didn't have, you know, the time space to just fit in 2 Chainz album, and it sucks too because this is probably 2 Chainz best album, you know, conceptually to date. You know what I'm saying? It's even better than Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. I felt like from the tracks that I listened to, it was just a complete album. It was very fire. I love where he was going. Some of the tracks being hyped, some of the tracks being, you know, lyrical, some of the tracks giving a message. I just felt like 2 Chainz, being from both lifestyles of being an athlete to, you know, being a drug dealer and coming up, you know what I'm saying, and being from that environment, you know, he had a lot to really speak on. Now this is the new way I'm gonna start doing projects, because I want to start getting to more projects. So I asked you guys on Twitter, I make a poll on Twitter, I tell you guys, give me your best 5 tracks from the album, and those tracks I will hold off on. Yes, I will. It sucks for me because I want to listen to the album so bad. I wanted to listen to those 5 tracks. A lot of people are saying that Ariana Grande track was fire. That's one of the 5 that I haven't listened to. So it's really easy for me to hold off an album because I listen to so much music, and now I can kind of share that with y'all at the same time. You know, reducing time, helping me out. You know, more time for me means more albums and type shit like that. So I'm just gonna kind of go through the album, and then when I get to the 5 tracks that I listen to, we're gonna do it like that. So if somebody wants to get into timestamps, they can do it down below. But like always, been fucking talking too much. We got 2 Chainz, Rapper Go to the League. Y'all ready? Alright, man. So, man, the first 2 tracks, man, just I gotta say that listening to the first 2 tracks with Forgiven featuring Marsha Ambrosius, I always say Ambrosius, I don't know how to say it, but I know she did the track with Marsha did the track with Jamie Foxx dance. Definitely love her sexy vibe that she gives off, and Threat to Society, man. Those are the 2 tracks I felt like that just really stood out right from the gate, man. Just listening to the album, you get Forgiven, and it's kind of just sitting there where, you know, 2 Chainz is kind of having a reflection, you know, trying to just remember his life and where you know, what the decisions that he made that were right for him, and kind of the decisions that you need to make as a young black man. I felt like this album was more dedicated to black kids. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I think that's exactly what it was for. You know, it's Rapper Go to the League. If you guys don't know what the stigma for that is, just literally when you're from the hood, when you're from that environment, you're from the slums, you're from nowhere, you either got 2 decisions in life, 3 decisions in life. You either rap, or you go to some kind of, you know, athletic team, and that's how you make it. Or 3, you drug deal. Or you can even say 4, you die. So that's what you really do at the end of the day. So you're not really given, that's what the black community, these young black kids have embedded in their mind, that they really don't have another way out. So it becomes this, you know, ultimatum kind of, you know, where it's just like, damn, I need to play ball. That's why you see a lot of black people that are very good at basketball, or they're very good at football, because that's all we really honestly do. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of just, you know, the getaway, the stress. No one really worries about the schooling. No one really worries about you know, the knowledge that you need to, you know, obtain to you know, maybe be a doctor, or be a lawyer, or be an engineer. It's, you know, that's not the only option, and people don't really realize that. You know, I think that it's getting a little bit better than it was before, but honestly, that's really, you know, the choices that we had. So 2 Chainz, you know, ended up being a rapper, ended up being, you know, working out for him, but he always remembers him being a drug dealer type shit like that. I think when we get into the track Threat to Society, which I don't understand how a track can be better than Threat to Society on here. There's a lot of great tracks that I listen to other than the 5 that I listen to, but Threat to Society for me just stood out. You know, it just stood out. Like, first of all, there was a thing that he said in there, well, in the hook, he said, I feel like I'm a threat. And it was kind of just like, it didn't really hit me until I listened to it, because I listened to it about 5 times. You know, I catch shit too. All right, relax, I do catch shit. But it didn't hit me until I got into like my 3rd listen, where he was actually coming from. Like, listen to it right here. Threat. I'm a threat.
Learn more from Coach Gwen than I did from my own kin.
Damn. That was a real last line right there. Let's get to it right here, man. For first thing he said with the threat. He said it 3 times, right? So when you say it 3 times, that's 3 triple threat. Triple threat is a position in basketball. Some of us don't know, so I gotta inform y'all. Triple threat is a position in basketball where you're standing, usually 1 foot back, 1 foot forward, with your hands out, because you're in triple threat position. At this point, you can either shoot the ball, you can jab step, or you can drive to the lane. That's triple threat right there. You have 3 options. Triple threat. So I felt like right there he was talking about basketball. Again, it sticks to the name. Rapper go to the league. Triple threat. I was fucking feeling that. When I first heard it, I was like, yo, no. I was like, yo, no way he's talking about triple threat. Because you always, I feel like as a young black man, you always have to be ready for your next move. You are always on microscope, all right? That's in America, you are on microscope. So you need to figure out your next move. You need to always be ready. You need to be in triple threat position at all times, because you never know when it's your time. You never know when your back can be against the wall. You never know when some shit can happen, and you need to be prepared for it. I fucking felt that. Triple threat position. And then he said the line where right there where he said about his coach was probably his best mentor. You know what I'm saying? The streets is his sensei. I was like, yo, that's real shit, because you gotta think about it, man. When you're in these youth leagues, when you're growing up, you're playing sports. I was a very active, you know, like I said, I was lucky to not always be around that. But my getaway, you know, I play sports all day. When I woke up in the morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, I played basketball with the homies till like 8 o'clock. I played video games from like, you know, I'm talking about computer games like Diablo 2 type shit from like 8 to 2. Go to sleep, do it all over again. That was my life. Work. I did a lot of schoolwork. I was very good in the books. You know, I graduated 3.1 type shit. I was very good in the book, so I was very blessed for, you know, to have the knowledge to know that. He said, your coach, man, I always remember, man, your coach was always, it was like your sanctuary. Whatever sport you played, it was always your getaway. You get to train, you get to get away, you go to your coach for guidance. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes y'all come to me for guidance. It's always like your elders. It was always, you didn't have to worry about it. You was having a bad situation at home, you was having a bad time wherever you're doing, anything going on with your girlfriend, anything going on in school, bullies, you just go to your coach, and your coach would feel like your friend, someone that you could trust. It was like your second father. So that's one of the lines that really hit me, where I was just like, yo, this track is a complete track. I've never seen 2 Chainz on this level, you know, speaking from knowledge. That is where I was coming from. Like, how can you honestly beat a track like this on there? And then this is what he said right here that really got me too.
I had respect, but I gained more. You rather be underrated or unemployed?
Think on it. So when he said, man, you got to think about this line right here. When he said, would you rather be underrated or unemployed? Which I honestly think, if you're underrated for so long, I kind of think it's the same thing when you really think about it, man. Like, it sucks, man. Honestly, y'all want to be some real shit? I'm underrated, man. Like, dead eyes. When it comes to this YouTube shit, like, y'all may think that I'm underrated, man. Like, I should be bigger than I am right now. And the fact that channels pass me in subscribers, numbers, I definitely love that. I know I got the love, man, but it just sucks sometimes, and it really brings you down when you think about it. Like, how come I haven't gotten my shine yet? Because I feel like I'm one of the realest niggas on YouTube, bro. Like, when it comes to this music shit. Speaking from my experiences, but it's just crazy, man. I'm underrated. YouTube holds me back. Whatever holds me back, something holds me back. And it's kind of, for me, it's just like, yo, I feel like I do all this and I want to continue doing all this, and it's like you don't get to pay for what you do. And it's just like you work so hard and you kind of overwork yourself and kill yourself. At the end of the day, is it really worth it? Like, it's just crazy when you think about it, when you compare to underrated and unemployed. It's like, sometimes, am I even really working? Like, you work at McDonald's, imagine you work at McDonald's and you're old, right? I'm just saying, for the older people, you work 80 hours at McDonald's, you get paid $200 working 80 hours. Is that really worth it? You're basically unemployed. You're working slaves. That's a slave hour. You're working slave hours for no pay. So I kind of just felt like that on right there too, man, where it kind of just hit me. And it was just, you know, he was speaking on it, you know, like the drug dealing, how it just shaped him to become 2 Chainz. How 2 Chainz has become a greater man from what he had to go through in his trials and tribulations in life, man. I fuck with that, man. And I know I've been talking too much. We're only on track 2, so I got to keep it going, man. We get to track 3 and track 4, Money in the Way, Statute of Limitations. I definitely love that Statute of Limitations. That boom, 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 boom. That bit be hit. Like, I felt like that was the hype track of the first half of the album, where, you know, Statute of Limitations, he's just going in. Money in the Way was another track where I felt was really soulful. He had a lot of soul on this album. Something that from the last album, Pretty Girls and Trap Music, it was literally all trap music, where it was all hype beats type shit, trap music, trap shit. And why it was still a good album, because I feel like 2 Chainz is just one of those artists who just sound good on everything. I felt like, you know, there's just a lot of soul, because there's a bigger message to this album. Rapper Go to the League. It's bigger than you think, man. Like, it's really a problem within the black community. It's a stigma, and people don't really realize that. Now, we're going into, it's crazy because the top 5 tracks y'all told me to wait on and listen to and do the review to or do reaction to is the next 5 tracks. So I'm excited, man. I'm really excited that I get to finally hear these, because the one track I wanted to get to was this High Top Versace track 5, because it got Young Thug in it. So let's get right to this one.
Top Versace's, I got high top socks, I got pop, silver diamonds, they know that all lot of stuff. All this motherfucking money starting to double up. Fuck it, look at how my money starting to double up.
Versace on my shit, logos on my head, bond dreads long like yeah, man. Drop the
He said dreads long like yeah, man. Y'all can't be lying, bro. That nigga 2 Chainz be in that thing flowing, bro. He be sliding on the beat, bro. That nigga 2 Chainz just be sliding, bro. Y'all can't lie. He don't be sliding. Come on.
Fucking money starting to double up. Take the tit off the coupe, keep it fishbowl.
Oh,
In the
playlist.
summertime, I breeze, keep my fist cold.
Yeah.
Hot yellow shit, suck my socks off. It's so crazy how this money start a lot of stuff. All this motherfucking money starting to double up.
And that's probably Young Thug's best features to date, man. I'll be trying to tell you, like, it's been hit or miss with Young Thug, and it's been missed lately. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this one right here, fuck with that one, man. High Top Versace, that is going on the playlist. You want the playlist? Donate $1 to the Patreon. I add you on Apple Music. That's how it works, bro. But that track, hey, I'm glad I waited for y'all with that, because that one was fire. It's quite a threat to society, but that track right there is for you. The next track y'all wanted me to listen to is track 6, Whip featuring Travis Scott. That's the main reason why, because it got Travis Scott. I'm expecting a banger, all right? Hopefully.
Whipping again, whipping it again, yeah. Go down, don't go under. Whipping again, whipping it again, yeah. Back it again.
finer than Fashion Nova. I wanna really see what's in them jeans. Is that a lace front, real hair extension, or just a quick weave? I'm about to.
Hey, I like that, man. Look, you gotta understand, man. You're dealing with some black girls. That's gonna be a thing. All right, I love my Nubian queens. All right, I've loved black girls before too. You know what I'm saying? I like them all, to be honest. If I'm attracted to them, I'm attracted to them. But you're gonna have the lace fronts. You're gonna have the wigs. You're gonna have, like, extensions. It's gonna be that. To be honest, a lot of people are starting to bite off the black community, off the black women, because if they're getting extensions and braids and all that shit, like, it's real. It's a very big problem that we have in society. J. Cole brings it up all the time.
Whip, flow signs, hope you don't slip. Yeah, my homie a crip. Seafood and you is a shrimp. Money tall, you on these tips. Replica.
We want the pants, doing no hands, yeah, doing no hands, man. Way too loud, too jumped up for your club. 4 a.m. ain't fucked up.
Hey.
All right, my opinion on that track, man. I wish that they would have just hyped it up a little bit more. Like, not saying hyped it up, but like the beat drop was bigger, because I felt like that had full potential. Like, the beat was fire. I just felt like it was just too quiet. Like something they did something wrong with the production, where it was supposed to be at a high, and it was kind of just saying, like, like 2 Chainz was being more aggressive than the beat, which I don't agree with right there. Travis Scott verse, Travis got a little flavor on it, a little flame, but on a little, like, eh. His features ain't really been like La Flame lately. They just been like, okay, Travis Scott's on here. All right, you're human. We get it. Astro World, we get it. But 2 Chainz, man. 2 Chainz, you eating this album up, bro. Like, I believed you, fam. I wasn't sleeping on you. Track 7. NCAA. Rapper go to the league.
I smoke myself to shit. Got myself a freak.
He said he got himself a freak. I feel that too.
Said food, that's the ocean. Yeah, I use good pussy like it's lotion. Yeah, NCAA. Yeah, we the young and they. Yeah, we be ballin' hard. Yeah, I just want some paper. Ooh, NCAA.
Ooh, hey. I was just gonna be ready to bring that point up, but I think 2 Chainz did it for me. We're gonna wait to the end of the track, but just know, NCAA, most corrupt system in America. Real shit.
College kid crazy. This that Barnum and Bailey. The greatest show on earth. I can't wait to go to the league so I can buy my mama what she want. Couple cars, sipping a cup of tea. No teacup, disability. I'm dreamed up with a feeling. My mood changing about money. Might open up another company. I just want some paper.
Like I said, probably one of the most corrupt things we have in America right now is the NCAA, and I think there's one thing I disconnect myself from, and it's it's from other people's, well, most people's opinions. Like, I could take some people's opinions, but some people literally just be ridiculous. I gotta press the X button. I don't even want to listen to it. I don't even need to hear it, because some people are really ridiculous on this topic when it comes to, you know, the kids and should they get money and, oh, they got a free education for 4 years. I would be okay with that if the fact that they didn't change the NBA rule, and a lot of people saying, well, that's the NBA rule, is you can't be one and done no more. If you really believe that that's the NBA's rule, you're an idiot, all right? The NCAA and the NBA are coinciding, all right? They're coming together. They're colluding together. Like, hey, look, we'll do this. You do this, you get your 1 year, because the NCAA was losing. They were losing, high recruits and for their name, for their brand. The sport was kind of just, everybody was one and done. Like, Zion Williamson should not be in a Duke uniform right now. We all know that. That motherfucker should be in the NBA. He should have left. Now, that's the option. If you can buy cigarettes, if you can go to the army and defend this country at 18, why can't you decide on what your job is to go to the next level right from high school? If you want to go to the NBA and you don't make it, that was your risk. You don't decide anybody's life at the end of the day. So don't act like you care about somebody's life, like, oh yeah, well, they're doing it for the education. Now, for the kids that do go to school and are student athletes and they play ball, fine, by all means, that's cool. Now they are taking that, then the NCAA can do whatever they want. But if kids don't want that choice and they want to go straight to the league, I think that's where it's a problem, and people don't really realize that. And I tell you right now, who the most people that say it is old school white people. Be real with y'all. I'm not even trying to make it a race shit. Like, that think that, oh, these students should not get paid or whatever. I think it's ridiculous too. Like, how you even go, like, if a guy signs an autograph and his mom gets $500 for it because she wants to put food on the table, and it really is a struggle like that, you're telling me that you can't let him sign an autograph for $500 and you're going to take away this man's scholarship? Like, in all honesty, I wish that the NCAA players would just come together and strike. That's what they really should do. Just strike and don't play, and see how much money they lose. Like March Madness right now, don't even play the round of 16 and see how much money they lose and how they would have to change shit. Look, when people come together, one voice isn't powerful, but when you get 3,000 voices together, they gonna listen to you. Huh? The next track we got is Mama Hit a Lick.
Famous in the actress, progress never digress. Your last minute past the fry test. I eat rappers, no digest. Fuck a piece, I want the whole pie bread.
But bro, a lot of people were saying that this track was just terrible. They weren't feeling this shit. And I could understand why. A lot of y'all probably didn't even like the Nerd album. A lot of y'all remember y'all telling me yesterday, like, the Nerd album was whack. And I can understand why y'all would not think this is fire. Come on now.
I'm an emperor, very sinister. Someone smoking on indica. Box on me like that.
Shit tough.
Chili.
Fuck the op, no competitor. Got into it with my bitch last night. She was right.
That's it. Well, y'all tripping. First of all, I think this got to be produced by Pharrell. Pharrell of the Neptunes. Please let me know. Chad, Hugo, them boys. Somebody got to have some imprint on this shit right here, because this sounds like Pharrell vibes. It sounds like goddamn Nerd vibes. Let me know in the comment box below, because I'm not sure. This shit fire right here, though. Y'all tripping talking about this ain't fire. This ain't fire because y'all not used to that weird shit, bro. That's why y'all always want to trap. That's what the fuck y'all want to listen to.
No things like identity theft. Or you got like beef.
Say less.
Or you pop like beef.
Say less.
Mask keep a nigga in check. Swag keep a nigga.
And like I said, man, I can understand why a lot of people were kind of just like turned off by this track right here featuring Kendrick Lamar. It wasn't your normal Kendrick verse that people are used to, the very fast flow. Everybody, him just switching his voice up and going really fast. Look, man, we gonna like different music, all right? The Nerd album to me was perfect. I felt like the Nerd album was a very underrated album, and the only track that people loved on it was the track with Rihanna. I get it how you get it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. That whole album from start to finish was amazing. Lightning Fryer Prayer, Mad F Dick Nigga, the track with Rolling Them Sevens with Andre. Like, I just don't get when people don't like that sound. I mean, it's all about taste, man. That's really what it's about. And this track right here was probably the most weird track that I've heard from 2 Chainz. Like, this is the weirdest track I've heard on 2 Chainz, from this Pretty Girl Like Trap, from goddamn the other, what was Riot, I can't think of his original album, but this is literally like different. So I can understand why a lot of y'all really don't like this shit, but this shit, man.
Progress never digress. Your last man to pass the fly test. I eat rappers, no digest. Fuck a piece, I want the whole pie grab.
I need to know, get in the comment box below right now, tell me who produced this shit, because I need to know his name, and it has to be Pharrell. I'll give 50, I'm like 80% sure that Pharrell produced that shit. Get in the comment box below, let me know. And for the last track that I didn't listen to, it would be this Rule the World featuring Ariana Grande. It was between this and $2 Bill with the Lil Wayne one, but I saw a lot of people were telling me to hold off on Rule the World, and I was gonna go crazy. I was gonna fuck with this shit, so. Hey, if you a real one, you know where that's from. Why can't we fall in love with? Hey, Marie be killing that bitch, but hey, it's this one thing is my future. Hey, Marie used to kill them jams back in the day. I remember the one she did with Fab. That was a very underrated one. The one she did with Fab on the Fab feature. I forget what that track was called, but damn. Hey, this a Ariana, bro. You know what I'm saying? I love your little redhead ass from back in the day, but damn, I don't know if you be touching Marie on this track. Let me see what you got though. Hey, this shit just give me back, man. That shit just throw me back, give me so many memories, dog. Like, why can't we fall in love? This shit was so tough. That shit was so tough back in the day, dog. I swear. Oh man, hold on, I gotta tweet this shit. It's a pop, man.
Yeah, smooth your eyes brown and you fall from base. Then we go to different places with no suitcase.
I like this a little cool spin off. I fuck with this one.
Y'all know me, so low key. All this ice on, I got cold feet. Shout bad, she a trophy.
Alright, man, first and foremost, let's just set something straight right here, man. I used to love Ariana Grande since I was a kid watching goddamn iCarly. Was it iCarly? No, Victorious that she was on when she had a little red head. And it's just crazy because I still need to do the Ariana Grande review, but I would have never realized that she would have just been this big and you know, probably finished top 10 vocalists ever. I think that, you know, there's a voice that doesn't come along like hers. You know, everybody likes to compare her to Mariah Carey, where I think that, I don't know, man, Mariah Carey used to get very high with her notes, so some people will even say she's screaming, but I feel like when it comes to Ariana Grande, she just does it so effortlessly, man, like it's crazy. And I will speak more on that video when I do that review. But this track right here, man, having that Marie sample, man, like that shit is crazy, bro. Like, why don't we fall in love? I keep doing that part, cause that part be it, but man, let's just play it right here, cause the review is basically over. But let's just play that part right there. Hold on. Hey, that's my shit for that, man. Woo! She be killing that shit. Hey, man, but oh god, man, that track right there is a beautiful track, man. Like, change the world. Like, you gotta think about it, man. Like, I honestly, 2 Chainz literally has one of the best albums of this year, hands down. Like, cause like that track right there is just telling you, you know, this is an album for. This is an album for the hood niggas, man. This is an album for the streets, bro. This is an album for all of that. Like, for you going through that struggle. And I'm not just gonna say just for black kids, man, but I'm saying for primarily. But I'm just saying this could be for anybody struggling and going through that. Like, this right here, it could not just mean going to the league literally, but it means like you got options, man. As long as you put the work ethic in and you put your mind towards it while you're young and you got the chance and you focus, yo, you can make anything happen, man. The mind is a powerful thing. Like, Girl's Best Friend, obviously, you know, he was gonna get Ty Dolla because Ty Dolla and 2 Chainz always come together to do a track. You know, Ty Dolla is undefeated. First of all, Ty Dolla is undefeated as a feature. 2 Chainz is undefeated as a feature. So, I mean, you put them boys together, man, and they just make a hit. That shit right there was another, like, it's a vibe. It was just like that. It was another track like that where, you know, it was grown and sexy. $2 Bill with Lil Wayne and E40. I was actually shocked, man. E40 is a legend in the game. So is Lil Wayne. And I was shocked at how well Wayne did. You know what I'm saying? One of Wayne's best verses in a while, you know, feature-wise, not from his album. I'm saying feature-wise, one of the best verses we've got from Wayne in a while. Definitely rode the beat. Definitely one of those hype tracks. And I can see why it was a debate between Rule the World and $2 Bill. But, you know, y'all know me, man. So y'all know how I listen to music. And y'all knew that Rule the World was going to get me, especially with that Aim and Reed sample. Y'all know I was going to fuck with that heavy. So I definitely see where y'all was coming from. I said Me was one of the surprising tracks that grew on me throughout time because you know, it had this, it was the Mary J. Blige's Rain Come Down sample. I don't know if that's the original sample, but that's the earliest I can think from where that sample comes down. Rain can come down on me. You know, I don't know if that's how the words go, but I remember the Mary J. did it. And I felt like 2 Chainz, that was another track where he was getting real vulnerable. And I think that's all what was going on through this album. The whole like concept of, you know, rapper going to the league, everything was so vulnerable because, you know, he had so much passion making this shit because he was that kid. He was that kid that had those choices. He grew up in that environment. This is what he went through. So 2 Chainz could relate, and he was speaking on everybody. Everybody, all his friends, everybody he grew up from, his kids now, like he's speaking on that this is real life. And you need to realize, yo, like we need to stop. We need to stop doing some shit that's gonna get us shot at 24, how he said in the intro. I respect that, man. We get to the only track on here that I didn't like was Sam. Sam was the only track I really didn't like on here, which was kind of just like, it's not that I didn't like it, I just didn't feel it. It was very soulful. It was a very jazzy, soulful track. It was, you know, soft and shit. He's kind of slowed it down there. I just would have had a better outro. I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. Life is exactly what that title was. He did it with Chainz. I think Chainz was probably the best person he could do it. I don't really like new Chainz, but acid rap Chainz, we know that Chainz came from a hard come up, you know, with the drugs and whatnot. And listen to that music like that. That was sweet. Chainz used to be fucked up, all right? So having that I'm not crazy life is, I do agree with that. At some points, I feel like life is just kind of out to get you. I think everybody can say that they've been there at one point in time where life is kind of just throwing everything at you, throwing curveballs, not giving you a day's rest, and you just got to find a way to overcome, all right? Like a lot of people, you know, it creates character when you can overcome adversity. Most people can't. Some bad shit happens to them, they just kind of just fold up in a fetal position and just stand in the corner. You can't let that happen, man. Life is going to throw punches at you, bro. You gotta just keep taking them and standing up, man. But my opinions on the album, overall, 2 Chainz has one of the best albums of the year, hands down. I'm so upset that there was other shit that came out and I didn't get to actually listen to this from start to finish because this was such a great album. This was such a great listen. When I listen to this shit in the car, bro, I tell you right there, that Threat to Society, I wish I would have told me to not listen to that Threat to Society because that shit had me going crazy. But at the same time, it made me realize, listening to it multiple times, you know, what the actual track meant. I felt like the album was well put together. You know, everything happening for a reason, Forgiven, you know, Threat to Society. Then you got NCAA. You got Mama, I Hit a Lick. Like, Rule the World. All these tracks are speaking on the behalf of young black men out there, all right? Like, this is what, if you want to know what most hood niggas go through, listen to this shit right here. It's real life, man. You only got you got choices, and people don't realize that, man. I think another thing, like, knowledge is power. I think we gotta start in the black community, man. We gotta step up and say knowledge is power, man. Head in the books. They will take you a long way. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me when you actually look out from the outside in, like, what do you look up from the older drug dealers where they have all this jewelry on, they have all, you know, the designer. Everybody wants to flex. Everybody wants to be better than the next person because in our community, that is power. You know what I'm saying? That is power. Being able to show all that, the money, that is power. Money is power, but having that, you know what I'm saying? Having that statement, that fashion statement, that just, you walk drip, right? That you walk power. That's what it feels like. So people just look at you like, damn, you an icon in the hood. But if you had knowledge, right? Knowledge, you would know. Because you have the knowledge that is not power, right? That is not the way to go. You know, it's not always about having the best fits and having the best shit, jewelry flashing and all that shit. You keep your money. You don't need that. Like, you gonna get pussy regardless if you look good or not. Like, if you're tall, you gonna get pussy regardless, all right? Like, you don't need to step out in some fresh Louis that cost you $3K and a fit that cost you $5K. That's $8,000 that you could have probably invested somewhere else. knowledge is power, man. That's why I think we need to move forward and we need to learn and we need to stop being slaves to all these goddamn designer brands and everything else. Like, I feel like we're just behind. It's crazy. I can speak more about it, but I just want to say this album right here is amazing. Rapper Goes to the League. A very, very, very project we needed that's going to be underrated from 2 Chainz, because everybody just thinks about 2 Chainz, trap music, hype. They don't really think that 2 Chainz can create a masterpiece like this. And Mr.Chainz, hopefully you see this video. I know I don't really get a lot of views on stuff like that because you're underrated, but this was a great album, man. I just want to give you a round of applause. I'm gonna keep it like that, man. Get in the comment box below. Let me know what y'all favorite track. Let me know what y'all think. My favorite track on here is Threat to Society, hands down. Threat to Society, and then I love that track with Travis Scott and Rule the World with Ariana Grande. I think those are the 3 best tracks on here, hands down. Get in the comment box below. Let me know what y'all think about the album. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Like the video, man. Underrated or unemployed. Like the video, man. Help me stop being underrated. Let's get me to that next level, man. Till you next time. We out.